defensive left, a couple of sets of hands infield to Garner. Luke Garner tackled for Penrith, 10 from halfway, now to the left and centre field for Yeo. Takes a one-out run, Isaiah Yeo, and that's 5. Last play coming up for Penrith. They're right in the middle of Lang Park. Cleary puts his right boot to it in the high kick downfield. Defensive left corner for Brisbane. Karapani catches a dozen from his own line and gets up to the 20, just beyond before leading the tackle there of Kenny and Leota. And the Broncos start this set 22 from the Milton Road end. 6 raw, more's the raw from Adam G. Panthers offside. And ball taken forward by Shibasaki to the 30. Lindsay Smith comes out of the line and jams Gajewski in a bone-rattling tackle. Gajewski plays it on the 30, now through the hands to the right. Carrigan given to Reynolds, a little bobble in his hands, but he didn't knock it on. Has to take the tackle, though, the veteran halfback. Still only 32 metres from Brisbane's line. To the right, Walsh serves it up to the infield run of Ricky. He's met by a couple of defenders, and Brisbane still 8 inside their own half. Out on the right, past one man infield to Haas. Haas up to halfway. 3 pink jumpers around him. Last play coming up for Brisbane, just the attack inside of halfway. 4-0 to Penrith. They run it to the right. Walsh gives to Ricky. Ricky is tackled, though, by the left side Penrith defence. He knocked it on as well, so they roll the dice on the last. Hand over Penrith. They'll get the ball 25 metres from the Caxton Street in goal. Casey McLean, the opening try for Penrith, and the Panthers lead 4-0.
Classic Walsh. He just tested the integrity of the defensive line. Last tackle, rather than kick it, he had a shot. They created an overlap, but unfortunately for the Broncos, Penrith defused it, but that's what you like about Walsh. He's always testing the line.
Dylan Edwards centre field, given to Cleary, who dummies and runs over halfway before being tackled by Gajewski. Takes us there along with Hunt. Ball played to Kenny, given on to Isaiah Yeo as we just get a blast of very hot, humid air come in through the open window of our high-level commentary box. It is a sticky night to start footy for these players. Out on the right-hand side, Garner's tackled, 22 from the goal line. Out the right, pass back to left and centre field. Cleary to Yoda, Talangi. Grubber for the left wing. For the Broncos, though, Mariner gets back to field it. He's immediately tackled 2 metres from the goal line. If you want opposites to playing a World Club Challenge in England to your first game in the NRL, as far as weather's concerned, we've got it.
You've got it. You've also, when I look at the Penrith Panthers, looking at, they have started this game remembering what happened here a few months ago. They are on fire tonight. They've turned up to play and to get a bit of redemption for mine.
Shibasaki with the ball, Brisbane midway goal line and their own line down at the southern end as Haas is tackled, and that's 5, and Brisbane is still just beyond the 30 at their own end. So Reynolds puts it to his boot. A high tumbling kick downfield. Edwards well placed, catches it 20 from the Penrith line, runs to the 30, runs into the defence, and Dylan Edwards will play the ball a dozen from halfway. A man who lost that Australian fullback jumper to the guy wearing number 1 at the other end of the field tonight.
Good point. I was wondering, that's a great little point there. Will it be a redemption year for Edwards in 26 to get that back?
He's over halfway, has a dummy half run there. 6 more for Penrith here, so they get into the attack with a fresh set. McLean, the try scorer, receives 1 man infield to the right, and Casey McLean dragged down by the Broncos defence, 30 metres from Brisbane's line. 4-0 early onto the Panthers. To the right, Yeo gives it on to Leota, steps off his right before Gajewski shuts the hole in company with Haas to make the tackle. And Haas is mucking around in the ruck. 6 more for Penrith to the left. Lindsay Smith takes contact, pops a pass out the back to Cleary. Flat-footed, centre field, 15 out. Cleary almost through. Only taken by an ankle grab there from Corey Pakes, who gives away a penalty.
I think he's lucky that he didn't get Simp in there, Billy, because they were on the attack there, Penrith.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Zona. They have every right to put him in the bin, but Zona, they look good. The boys in pink, they've turned up to play.
Yeah, I'm happy enough that that was just a penalty, as much as it did seem to be a deliberate linger in the tackle. Garner is stopped only 2 metres out. Now the referee blows up the clock.
Yeah, they're worried about Gajewski's possible concussion.
Yeah, well, he was the one that got smashed when
Smith was.
Yeah, Lindsay Smith got in, but it was more winded cue on that occasion. But on this one here, you can see Garner's got him with his elbow into the head. He's got to go off for that.
Yeah, he put his head in the wrong spot, unfortunate for him. If he doesn't go now, he'll be called off in a minute.
G'day to Dion. Thank you. Nice to hear from you. Tiger Tooley. Mark from the Central Coast. Gee,
some great names.
All the old crew's back. Sending us messages. 0467920222. The Wars beat the Roosters, by the way, 42-18. And Louis gave Jackson Ford his 3 votes in the ABC Sport Player of the Year. Penrith on the attack as Leota plays the football. Pass to the left for Cleary, given to Talangi, feeds the inside line of McLean, who gets through Carrigan and gets through Pates before eventually being stopped by Ricky. Only 7 metres out. Pass back to right and centre field. Smith to Yo, through the hands. Cleary, second hand to Edwards. Look, floating past the Toto on the wing. Defence ships and gets him. Shimasaki makes the tackle, only 2 metres out. Quick play the ball. Alamotti feeds it infield to Cleary. Pass to centre field for Yo. Sweeping ball to Talangi. His pass taken brilliantly by Papali'i in one hand. It was behind him, but Reynolds makes the try-saving tackle. Only 2 metres out. High quality stuff early on. Cleary gives it on to Leota. He's knocked it on under the tackle of Gajewski. Oh, you reckon these 2 teams have hit the ground running? Knock on Penrith. Panthers lead 4-0.
As usual, you're onto it. That's exactly what I was thinking. This is like near mid-late season form. Round 1. Outstanding. Papali'i, how did he hold that ball?
Well, the thing is, Zano, we expected it to start well, and at the start of the season, how long can it last, particularly in these conditions at the start of the year? But how's it feel at ground level?
Well, you can feel the excitement because the reigning premiers versus the team that won the previous 4, and I can tell you that the Penrith Panthers had the date September 28, 2025 up on their walls every day they trained in the off-season. They want vengeance here tonight.
As Katoni Staggs is pushed towards the touchline. Had 3 around him, he chucks it out the back desperately. Ricky has to do the cleaning job, and he picks it up. Swarming defence around Staggs there, and the Broncos have got it 30 from their own line, but the men in pink, they have shown their intentions through only 14 minutes here. Just the one try to Casey McLean. Penrith lead 4-0 as Walsh says, let's get out of here. It's a towering left foot spiral downfield from Reece Walsh. Pitches on the 10 and rolls to the goal line before Edwards takes it for Penrith. Runs over the 10 and up towards the 20, a couple of metres short before tackled 15 in from the eastern side and 18 metres from that Caxton Street in goal area. You're listening to NRL Friday on ABC Sport with Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Great to have your company on what is a warm night for footy. Right side shift, Alamotti gets through one before then losing the ball in the tackle. It's out the back. Referee says it's knocked on though.
Great D there by the Bronx. The Bronx left-hand side were able to curtail Alamotti, who's a very, very good player. This is a great opportunity, Hugh, for the Bronx. They'll have a scrum, 10 in, 40 out. Let's see what they can throw at the boys in pink now, because they've dominated for mine, the Broncos, in this first 15 minutes. It's been all Penrith. They look good.
Dare I bring up a sore point, Billy? You know what it's like losing a preliminary final? And then you get to the first game of the next year.
You're filthy.
Yeah.
I lost 4, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you hadn't won 4 like these guys before losing that prelim final, but yeah, it certainly has been a high-tempo opening here. Brisbane with the ball as Reece Walsh with a closer cropped hairdo to start 2026. Tackle 35 metres out. Ricky with a game 1 man to the right of the ruck. Eats up another 6 or 7 metres. Brisbane on the attack. Penrith lead 4-0 as it goes through the hands to the centre of the field. Jensen's tackle, but Penrith's offside, and that gives the Broncos a fresh set. 15 minutes played. Brisbane on the attack. It's Carrigan dummying and straightening, and Pat Carrigan stands in the tackle. He's going to be forced to play the football now 16 metres out. Pakes dummies to his right. Haas almost overran the line. Lucky not to be forward. Haas takes it, gets tackled. Under the black dot and 10 metres from the Penrith line. Pakes to the left, gives it to Carrigan through the hands. Hunt, grubber for the in-goal area is dived on by Garner of Penrith. Into the in-goal area. What have we got? Goal line dropout, I fancy? Yeah. Yep, goal line dropout, Penrith.
Very unlucky there, Dano. I reckon if it doesn't collect the feet of the Panthers, that's a try there to the Bronx. they were going to get that ball first then. So well diffused, well covered by the Panthers.
And Alamotti didn't know where the ball was. It was just lucky that it came off him and allowed Garner to get back there and recover. Do they go shorty at Q?
Yes, is the answer. To the left side, Cleary's drop out. About 15 metres on the fly. Mariner had a go at it, didn't knock it on. Staggs gets it. And now, no, it was a knock on. Staggs in an offside position.
Might be challenging this.
Well, Adam Reynolds is a very good challenger.
Outstanding. No, he's not.
He's not going to challenge. Yeah, so it was knocked on by Mariner leaping, trying to catch. Oh, no, I think maybe it's for the obstruction, maybe. So Staggs was a blocker. He didn't allow Garner a run at the football, I think, in the end.
A free play, yeah.
Was that the decision?
And that's not going to help Reece Walsh either with those high kicks, because that's one of the reasons why you can't look at the football, Billy, because then you are going to be in the road and you're going to be one of those lurkers that stop the fullback.
Disruptors.
Disruptors, that was the word I was looking for.
I like lurkers.
Lurkers. Disruptors probably better, but lurkers second.
There'll be a new dictionary of Zainisms by the end of 2026. The first is lurkers, as Garner breaks a tackle on halfway. He's passing field looking for Edwards, is not gone. Edwards is saying he was held back, not far from you, Zaino.
Who had a bigger brain explosion? Seriously, the Panthers or me with my non-disruptions call. But honestly, I think the Panthers have got a legitimate claim here.
I was too busy concentrating on the run of Garner to see whether or not Edwards was impeded. No, I think he just knocked that on.
So he's got through Hunt's tackle and also Kajeski. So two defenders there on this left-hand side. They're aiming a lot of attack at that area, Zano. They see a weakness there, the Panthers.
Ref had a good start. That was a good call, Zane.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon Corey Pakes had an early start there. But anyway, we'll play on.
Scrum win to the Broncos, and Staggs has tackled 10 from halfway. 22 minutes left in the first half. Penrith lead 4-0 after a try to Casey McLean 6 minutes in. Earlier, the Warriors beat the Roosters 42-18 across the ditch. Jensen's got the ball for Brisbane. There's a couple of defenders pushing Corey Jensen backwards. Played 25 of the 27 games last year, Corey Jensen, a real workhorse for Brisbane, as Carrigan goes down the middle third. He's right on Main Street in the middle of the park, 35 from Penrith's line. To the left, it's given to Hunt. Tries a kick early in the set. It ricochets off Cleary, goes backwards from a Penrith perspective and into the hands of Edwards, who dives on it and catches it, 22 from Penrith's line.
He cleaned it up beautifully, Dylan Edwards. It wasn't easy, Hugh, but he was able to suffocate that ball because the chasing pack of the Broncos were coming through.
McLean's now got the ball. Penrith 8 metres from halfway. Early in the set, McLean plays the ball here to Kenny. Passes to Dylan Edwards, who's running down the middle third. Pakes is there to make the tackle along with Ricky. Penrith right in the middle of the cauldron. Kenny passes right for Cleary. Gives it on to Leota. Moses Leota steps beyond the 40 on attack and eventually tackled only 37 from Brisbane's line. Last play, Kenny passes centre field for Cleary. Puts his right boot to it. It's a bomb which is leapt at and knocked on by Karapani at Brisbane. Back in Penrith's hands, 6 more. And Smith is tackled. Only 10 metres out, a mistake from Karapani, and Penrith with a fresh set, 10 metres out. Cleary receives, passes right for Edwards, steps up his right, beats Gajewski, rolls through the tackle of Pakes and goes in for Penrith's second try.
Well, that left side of the Broncos is brittle. Gajewski was left standing there, grasping thin air. Dylan Edwards, great footwork, right foot step, just got on the inside shoulder and said good night from there. Is there any sort of impediment? No. It was basically just a bad read and he was just too good for the Broncos defenders. Well done. And you can just see, this is just sheer weight of possession and field position. They are absolutely dominating the Broncos. You can just see they've got a point to prove tonight, and there's no worse team to actually have provoked in this competition than Penrith. They are machine-like when they need to be.
That was such a bad read by Jack Gajewski. And look, Hugh, I know you said it was a pre-season game, but guess what? OKR identified that side with no Brendan Piakura. They went there again and again and again and paid dividends when they had that 30 points to 4 lead. The Broncos clicked late. Maybe they'll do that tonight against Penrith, just like they were down 14-0 in that prelim. But wowee, they look really ordinary, don't they, on that right side in attack for Penrith, left side in defence, and Gajewski's just holding his hand out saying, where did they go? Well, mate, you've got to get up and make the tackle, and he was nowhere near Dylan Edwards.
60% possession already for Penrith.
Yeah.
And 10 points to nil with Nathan Cleary's conversion attempt midway goal line and uprights out on the western side, right wing side for the right-footed champ.
You struggle to think of it the last time the Bronx were inside the Penrith 10, 20, even 10.
Well, they had that little grubber from Hunt was really their
Only 4-8 in there.
only opportunity, really. Nathan Cleary. Don't think he was down at Robina watching Mary Fowler last night in the Asian Cup. I reckon he'll be there at Homebush on Sunday, though, when the Matildas play South Korea. He approaches, he strikes, he raises the flags. And Cleary converts the Edwards try, and Penrith leads Brisbane 10 points to nil through 21 minutes of the second leg of NRL Friday on ABC Sport with Quentin Hulls, Zane Bojack and this man, Billy Moore.
Well, they're certainly winning the collisions. The Panthers, they are across that advantage line. They got the yardage, they've got the collision, and their defence has been ruthless. It's 8 or 9 times that absolutely pumped into the Broncos, and you haven't seen that sort of ferocity being reciprocated from the boys from Brisbane.
Walsh with the kick-off. It goes all the way into the in-goal area, and Smith with the first carry stopped on the 10. Let's quickly get around the grounds. In the Test cricket over at the Wacker, Australia sending India into bat. India currently 7 for 150. Jemima Rodriguez, the last batter out, she made 52. So we've got the pink Panthers here, and the pink button on the ABC Listen on your apps is where you can hear it. India 7 for 150. Penrith 25 from their own line mid-set, working their way upfield. AFL first quarter opening round continues down at Carrara on the Gold Coast, and the Suns 4 goals 125 lead Geelong 2-2-14. The red and blue button on your app is where you can hear that, or news radio in the metro areas. To'o goes over halfway. Penrith's got the ball from the end of the set. They've got to within 40 now of Brisbane's line. Cleary's going to bomb once more, and he is peppering Karapani's side, and he knocks it on again. Karapani, it'll be picked up by the Panthers. Talangi's got it 30 metres out. No, I thought he knocked that on, and now Nathan drops the ball. Went backwards. Yo picks it up, gives it back to Cleary, spinning around under pressure. Oh, he chucks it backwards, and then Smith bats it 15 metres behind halfway. Cleaned up by Edwards, kept alive. This is bizarre. And now Jenkins' kick downfield is smothered over the touchline. What is that?
Well, they must have thought it was still the fifth tackle. I thought there was clear knock on there by Dean Mariner.
No, he didn't actually restart the tackle, so it was fifth the whole way through. They realised that. But they're going to get the ball back now. Did he play it? This was get kicked in. Okay, he played at it, but yeah, so they got themselves out of harm's way here, Penrith. They get a restart right on halfway. Well, actually, no, not to move back 2 metres.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mariner out on that side, it was who sort of... They're peppering him out there. To'o with the first carry. No, great game. 45 metres from the Brisbane line. Plays the ball to Kenny. Given left through Yo to Cleary. Papali'i with a fend on Reynolds before Staggs get under his ribs and drives him into the deck. Penrith 35 out, 15 in from touch on the left. Panthers leading 10-0 as Smith has it for Penrith. Tackled on the 30. About 22 metres in from the left wing touchline. Slow in the ruck from Carrigan and Reynolds, and they've given away the ping. Wavy fisty for 6 more. Left side, it's Talangi tackle. Passes back in field. Smith's got it once more. The big forward, he's had a big start too. He's taken only 21 metres out centre field. Kenny comes into dummy half. Passes right for Cleary. Runs at the line. Pops it up for Garner. And Garner keeps his thighs pumping, but the ball's wrapped up. He'll have to take the tackle. 12 metres from Brisbane's line. Played to Kenny. Given it onto Yo. Yo to Smith. Haas comes out of the line to cut out. It was Ricky, should I say. Cuts his legs down. Makes the tackle. Now, Willison comes out of the line to make a good hit on Liotta, who's stopped under the black dot 5 metres out. Kenny looks right, passes left. Cleary grubbers for the in goal. Walsh fields it after a little bit of a fumble backwards. He's on his own line. Walsh, and he's tackled, and the Broncos will start this set just in the field of play. Fans don't like the fact they might have thought there was a flop there to slow down the play of the ball. But boy, yep, we've had our 20 minutes of explosion first game, and now there's some tired-looking players out there a bit. It's slowed a bit, Billy.
It's got to the grind a little bit, but still the ferocity of the collisions and the speed of it is breathtaking, Q. You've got two of the premier sides in the competition, and there's plenty of excitement through this whole two teams, and now we see Walsh put it down.
Early in the set, Walsh kicked it into his own player who was in front of him.
So Penrith get the ball here.
Accidental knock on in the end. Accidental offside, I think.
This is a huge play. This next couple of minutes, 28.
That was terrible. He kicked it into Xavier Willison, who was in front of him.
Yeah, it's terrible. Zane's touched on it about the form. They're just a little bit off the Broncos, and they're playing against the Penrith team that have come here totally focused to get redemption from that preliminary final loss. This is the key next set of 6. The Broncos have to hold up another try here. That'll give a huge lead to the Panthers.
Scrum fed out in the right, 30 metres out. Pass to the left in centre field. Edwards to Cleary. Reynolds tries for an intercept and knocks it on. At least that gives his troops a little bit more time to put some oxygen in the tank. 14 minutes to the break. Panthers lead 10-0. Of course, one of the great storylines of 2025 was the 4-time reigning champs being at the bottom of the ladder after 12 rounds. Very slow out of the blocks in 2025 were Penrith. They had 3 wins and a draw and 7 losses. When they lost to Newcastle in Bathurst in round 12, they were last on the ladder and then won 9 in a row between rounds 13 and 23 before finishing eventually in 7th on the ladder and winning 2 cutthroat finals against the Warriors and the Dogs before losing the preliminary final here to Brisbane, which ended their 4-year reign at the top of the NRL. McLean's tackled out on the left. And again, there's mucking around in the ruck from Reynolds, but the referee says, just get up and play it. Jenkins a dummy half. Runs in field for Panthers. And again, Penrith on the attack. Out in the left, 20 metres out, 10-0 to the visitors. Through the hands of Yo to Cleary. Shift to the right edge, give it to Alamotti. One in from the wing. Draws and passes to To'o, who's cut down by the tackle of Karapani. Only 7 metres out. Played to Edwards, a dummy half. Runs in field. Gives it on to Sorensen. He's not a bear yet, Billy. Sit down. Sorensen, he's going to play the ball. He's headed to Perth next year. Plays it there to Kenny. Pass to the left for Cleary. Smith puts it on to Papali'i. Papali'i tried a miracle pass as he was ankle tapped close to the line. Loses it forward. Great defence from the Broncos. Try and pick up that player who just did enough to ensure that Isaiah Papali'i didn't speed bump him entirely, because he was headed for the line. Katoni Staggs.
Great tackle. Those edge back rollers of Panthers got Papali'i on the left and Garner on the right. They're absolutely hammering the Broncos, keeping the centres very honest, dragging the defence across at the same time, opening up holes. They're causing a lot of problems to the Broncos.
So Brisbane with the scrum feed, 10 from their own line. 12 minutes left in the first half. 2 tries to nil for Penrith, 10 points to nil. Keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222. I gave a shout out to Uncle Pete and Nephew Eden in the Western Stand earlier. Apparently it's their 34th consecutive season coming here.
That's fantastic.
Good on them.
Keep it up. Let's get to 40.
Loyal listeners as well. Earlier tonight, Warriors 42, Roosters 18. Brisbane with the ball through Ricky, who steps beyond the 30-metre line. Eventually, Jordan Ricky tackled 15 metres from halfway. Now give it to Carrigan, runs out the line, passes to the left. Hunt has a dummy and straightened, but Cleary's there to knock him down. And Ben Hunt will play it on 5. Oh, he had another little flop there. Was there an extra grab from Alamotti? Crowd thought so. Referee G thought not. End of the set. Reynolds with a high, deep kick. Going to be caught comfortably by Jenkins. Catches it 9 metres from his own line. Decides to link up with Edwards. Runs to the 20. Edwards has his shorts grabbed by the tackle of Shibasaki, and that's enough to stop Dylan Edwards. And Penrith will start this set 21 metres out. So you saw there Jenkins. He was one of the unlucky players to miss out for Penrith at the back end of the season. Basically, Alamotti coming in last round and kept his spot.
He played good Alamotti too, but it shows the depth that's inside this Penrith production line.
Oh, no Marcus O'Kenny has it joined over halfway. Links up with Edwards, and he's tackled only 38 metres out. Penrith, I think for Brisbane's liking, a little too easily get to the attacking territory. Now Cleary, flat ball to Papali'i, knocked it on. knocked on. He was put on his bum by a solid hit from Reynolds as well.
Good shot by Reynolds. You forget saying how good a tackler Reynolds is, because he's not a big man, but he's got perfect timing. Gilmeister like, but the Panthers certainly have dominated this first half. It's on the scoreboard 10-0, but to me they've actually probably dominated by more than that margin.
Yeah, Adam Reynolds with all those dodgy hamstrings and of course those tight legs as Ezra Mam gets set to come out for the Brisbane Broncos. He's warming up on the sideline. He'll be out here very shortly. Yeah, Reynolds missed the end of the grand final but gets a second title. One with Souths, one with the Broncos in his last season. And as you said, for a little man, he knows how to tackle. We're just seeing here at the moment, Xavier Willison's getting a bit of a talking to for the trainer.
He looks a little dazed. I'd be surprised if he wouldn't be coming from the field for head injury assessment.
I think you're right, Q.
No, well, is he? No, they're going to pack a scrum. I think he's going to put his head in it.
Yeah, he's going to stay out there.
Okay.
But he actually hit. He's actually hit the head of Nathan Cleary in accidental contact. So
I reckon the video referee will make sure he gets dragged off.
Yeah.
There's definitely a head clash.
He's still out there for the time being. 10 minutes and 19 seconds remain in the first half. Brisbane scrum on their own 30. Given to Shibasaki left edge. He's tackled and lost the ball. A knock on from Gemat Shibasaki. Play one off the scrum win for Brisbane. And this invites the Panthers to have another crack at the line from only 30 metres out.
One thing we've talked about how good this is for a first round one paced game, the collisions, the quality of what you see, but there has been a lot of drop ball. So, to me, I don't say no. Is there any mitigating circumstance? That I'm not sure. Humidity, yeah.
Here he comes, Willison.
Willison's coming off. Haas had only gone off about 2 or 3 minutes ago. They do get the free interchange with the HIA, but he's going back out there now, Payne Haas, so not much of a rest for him. This is interesting. Ezra Mam's out there now for Corey Pakes. That means 3 players have been activated by the Broncos. They're going to run the gauntlet. They've got another 50 minutes to go with just the one fresh reserve.
Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on that, of course. 6 on the fine, of which 4 are allowed to play. Penalty here, high tackle from Ben Tolte. So Tolte's into the action, Willison's into the action, and Ezra Mam, has he gone on? Yeah, he's on as well.
It adds a whole dimension to
Yeah.
the game. You have to think about the repercussions of having that 6-man bench and how you activate them.
So I don't think that tackle was put on report, but Nathan Cleary's called for the kicking tee, and this should be 12-0 for Penrith. Yeah, so if you are just sort of linking in as we get a look on the replay here, yeah, Tolte with a loose high shot there on report. I don't think it was on report, but penalty enough. Yep. So 6 players able to be used, 4 of which will be used, unless, of course, there is the HIA circumstance. We're having a chat with the veteran ground manager, Stewie, there before Zano, before the game. He said, we don't use the term 18th man anymore. What do we use? 5th interchange player activated.
Yes, 5th player activated.
5th player activated, so not 18th man. All these things that, you know, Billy's looking at me quizzically in the box here.
Right, that's stand.
Yeah, you need to sort of do some study or have a lecture from the referees before each season to make sure that you've got all the new rules.
I've got my book here. I've written that down. Thank you.
Not much angle for this penalty goal attempt for Nathan Cleary. Penrith already lead 10-0. 9 minutes left in the first half on a steamy Friday night at the Cauldron. Cleary with 1 from 2, approaches, strikes, kicks the penalty goal, and the Panthers lead the Broncos by 12 points to 0. Around the grounds, Snarana has lost her wicket, the latest Indian wicket to fall. And in the test match, India in Perth is 157 for 8. 8 down for 157. You can hear it on ABC Listen on the pink button. And quarter time at Carrara, the Gold Coast have got a good lead over Geelong. 43 to 14 after the first term there at Carrara. Red and blue button for that. And of course the T20 World Cup final comes early hours Monday morning. India taking on New Zealand in that T20 World Cup.
What a ripper.
Can I just jump in, guys? So both Ben Teo, who's the yellow trainer, or should say blue shirt trainer for the Broncos, and Troy Thompson, who's the general manager of the Broncos, they both had a discussion with that same ground manager that spoke about Stewie, about the fact that we had Xavier Wilson taken off by the bunker just as they had interchanged Ezra Mam. So it's taken one of their options away with Ezra out there, and they're going to run short of their forward interchanges, so they weren't very happy with that decision.
So that counted as one of the 8 changes, not a head injury assessment free replacement. Thank you, Zane.
Timing's everything, isn't it?
In life and, yes, in football as well. Billy Isaiah Yo's got the ball. Penrith again, 10 from halfway. Dylan Edwards, he receives one man to the left of the ruck, and the Penrith fullback is driven into the deck.
He's been good, Edwards.
Very energetic. Plays the ball here to Kenny. Passes to Cleary, who's rushed at. Draws a tackle. Passes to the right. Phillips, the young man in his second game's out there. Got a pass to Garner. Back to Phillips, and Phillips knocks on. This is Billy Phillips, a 21-year-old in just his second game. So he's one of the 4 activated.
This is a chance here for the Broncos. They're 40 out from their own line. Their field position has been pretty ordinary in this first half. They will get at least 2 or 3 tackles well inside the Penrith half. Can they conjure some magic?
Karapani with the ball for Brisbane on halfway. He plays it now. Tulty goes on a 1-out run, just gets into attacking territory. Ben Tulty, one of those playing tonight who missed out on grand final night, to the left pass. Oh, to Mam, that was terribly disorganised. Mam's pass sort of ricochets backwards, cleaned up by Walsh, and he's collared. Dragged to the ground by Scott Sorensen, and Walsh plays it on halfway. Reynolds is in at dummy half. Give it to Ricky on a straightening run. Gains 8 metres, 42 from Penrith's line when Jordan Ricky plays the football. Hunt now in at dummy half, given to Tulty. Tulty stopped 32 metres out. Centre field. Hunt's got options either side. Gives it left for Carrigan at the line. Passes to Mam. Pops it up for Gajewski. Nice tackle. Alamotti coming in to jam him and put him down. 10, make it 20 in from touch on the left, 20 metres out. Hunt out of dummy half. Has a run. Gives it to Haas, who's flat forward. Gets the legs going. Tackled by Cleary. Pops it out the back. Hunt running laterally now across the 20. Gives it to Staggs, who's running laterally. Go forward. He's taken 18 metres out. They're going left and right, Bill, but they're not going straight. Now Walsh, that's a bit more of an attacking run. Floating double cut out to the edge for Karapani's wing. That was the 6th. He's tackled by Cleary, and a handover, and Penrith will get the ball. The Panthers lead 12-0. 5.5 minutes left on this first half. It's NRL Friday on ABC Sport. You're at the Cauldron with Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack.
Was that the Penrith defence being so good, or the Broncos attack looking a little bit rusty? Because they did not really threaten the Panthers at all in that set of 6.
Yes, there was definite grey area, of which the proportions of black and white to make said grey area are questionable, but I think they were both there, Billy, that's for sure. Knock on Penrith.
Here we go. This will answer our question about whether the Broncos attack is in order.
Mistake from the Panthers, 22 metres from their own line.
5 to go. 22 out. Zano, this is the moment.
Well, they didn't score in the first half in that prelim final, did they? But
there was a loose pass from Edwards, which went to the deck, and Stacey McLean knocked it on, trying to pick it up.
Well, the Panthers were claiming that came off the Broncos' hand, which I think, looking at the replay, it's right.
I reckon just he's passed the ball, his forearm got hit, and that's why the pass lost power.
Walsh is to the right of the scrum, they go left for Mam, and Ezra Mam's going to be held up in a 1-man grab from Garner, who eventually got help from Edwards. And the Broncos 11 metres out on the left. Played to Hunt, that's Ben. Jayden is on the bench, haven't seen him as yet. Penalty Brisbane. High tackle coming in from Isaiah Yo. So penalty to the Broncos. And a quick chat between Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds. Not quite the 14-0 of what we had in the preliminary final, where Brisbane came back to win 16-14, but it's 12-0 Penrith here, and now Brisbane on the attack, looking to open their account as the reigning premiers. Tulsey tackled 2 metres out. Hunt passes right for Carrigan, has a run at the line. He stopped under the black dot, only 3 metres from the goal line at the Caxton Street end. Played to Ben Hunt, passes left for Reynolds. Flat ball, Gajewski on inside line. Easy pickings for the tackle there of Garner and also Cleary. Broncos 10 to the left of the uprights and 7 metres out. Hunt passes right for Reynolds. Floating ball to the right edge. Walsh, his pass is knocked on by Ricky. He held it up and put Ricky through the hole, but it was at his thighs, and Ricky couldn't catch it. He's dropped it.
He should have caught that. He's in space too, Ricky. As you said, it's at his thigh. Very catchable, Zano. Created the space there, the Broncos. Walsh didn't have to do much, but he put him through a hole. I don't think he would have went on and scored because there was plenty of pink around him, but it was an opportunity lost there by the Broncos.
Did Jordan Ricky just drop that like a bag of potatoes? Because that's what, during social media storm after the grand final, he called one of the high-profile reporters in the game of rugby league. So, yeah, not a great effort there by Ricky. He should have really held on to that one, and Reece Walsh should be filthy that they're not 4 points closer to the Panthers heading into half-time.
3 minutes to set break. 2 tries to Penrith in this first half. If you're just tuning into NRL Friday on ABC Sport, Casey McLean on 6 minutes and Dylan Edwards on 22 minutes. Cleary kicking one of the 2 conversions, then added a penalty goal a short time ago. That's how we've got to 12-0 Penrith, with conditions steamy and warm earlier this evening. The Warriors beat the Roosters 42 points to 18. Sorensen with ball in hand for Penrith, pushed back a metre or 2 by the tackle of Haas. The Panthers still only 25 from their own line. Kenny gives it 1 man to the left for Yo. Runs at the line, pops it to a flat-footed Edwards, and he's tackled 30 metres still from that Caxton Street in goal that the men in pink are defending. Now Yo, yep, he realised we're not going anywhere here. 10 metre down the middle. He realised it.
What do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do?
I can do anything.
Run down the middle. Cleary's going to boot it from inside the 40 at the end of the set. Won't threaten the touchline though. A high kick, which is caught by Karapani on the left edge. Runs infield and tackled just beyond the 30 at the Broncos end. So there's 1 minute and 55 seconds left in this first half, and Brisbane with the ball as Mariner is taken in a tackle. 15 metres from halfway, set apart. Played to Reynolds, given right. A little step and straightening run there from Staggs, can't get through. 15 in from the right, 8 from halfway. Lost the ball in the tackle, and the referee says just a lost ball. So this gives Penrith the last crack, you'd think, Billy, with that mistake from Katoni Staggs. He was trying to get up and play the ball, and he just dropped it.
What's the error count? It's racked up. It's been highly entertaining, but you know, from a perfectionist point of view, there's been plenty of mistakes and plenty of opportunities that have been granted which have not been taken. Let's see the Panthers with 1 minute 20 in this half to take their opportunity.
And off the scrum, first tackle taken by 35 metres out. Blindside Ryan, give it to Garner. Bumps off a tackler, runs infield, straightens up to the 20 before Tulsi gets him. Good run from Luke Garner from Penrith. He'll play it 18 metres out, 20 in from touch on the right. Kenny passes left and centre field for a straightening run from Sorensen. He's put down a dozen metres out. Panthers looking for more points here to the right for Edwards. Dummy steps off his right. Door closes on him though. 3 men stop. Dylan Edwards 10 to the right of the uprights, 2 metres from the goal line. Play to Kenny, pass left for Cleary. Has a run at the line. He's stopped by Carrigan under the black dot. Only 2 metres out. Last play for Penrith. Kenny with a sweeping ball to the left. Talangi rides the tackle of Staggs. Kicks to the wing for Jenkins. Catches, scores, and Penrith go in for a 3rd try of the first half. Brilliant execution again from the Panthers. And Thomas Jenkins, the man of September and October heartbreak last year for Penrith. He's into the team for game 1 of 2026 and he scores a try for 16-0. Kick to come and the conversion will come beyond the halftime hooter.
Talangi, what a kick. What a moment. Big question mark for me is with the Panthers, no Luai, he wasn't there last year. Well, they probably weren't the same side. Talangi has to rise as a player and become a legitimate option on the other side of the ruck. Cleary took the ball to the line, nearly scored. He's out of the play, plays the ball, ends up last tackle in the hands of Talangi, and he puts it on the toe and finds his man Jenkins. Great work by the wingman, but a well-placed kick by the young 5'8". Well done, Panthers. You now get the lead that you've earned because you actually have played this much better than the Broncos. 16-0 gap, kick to come.
Well, there's more than one reason why Isaac Tungo is on the bench tonight. There is the talk that the possibility of Zach Lomax going to the Penrith Panthers, which would mean that Isaac Tungo would be released to Parramatta. Now, look, this is an interesting one because Thomas Jenkins will be sitting there saying, well, hello, hang on, I should be playing on the wing for the Panthers. You can easily play Paul Olamoti in the centres like you are tonight. You don't need to buy Zach Lomax. So he's gone over for a try, his 19th in his career, but he's got plenty of life in him, Milky Jenkins.
13 tries last season, Jenkins, and his first of 2026. Last play of the opening half is a Nathan Cleary conversion attempt from the spot basically where he missed the first one. A metre in from touch, 21 metres out on the left. He approaches, he strikes. The first one hit the post. He's made the adjustment, the champ. Cleary kicks the conversion, and Penrith go to the sheds at half-time in this round one fixture with an 18-0 lead over the reigning premiers. 3 tries to 0 in the opening half for Penrith. McLean, Edwards and Jenkins scoring on 6, 22 and 40 minutes. Cleary with 3 from 4. He missed that first conversion, but he's kicked all 3 since. Well, 3 kicks since, 2 of them conversions and 1 a penalty goal. Panthers 18, Broncos 0. Half-time, Billy Moore, as the big stage has rolled into the middle of Lang Park. We're going to get spider bait during the break, but what can you tell us about the first 40 minutes of Friday night footy in the Cauldron for 2026?
A half-time score reflects how much the Panthers were in front of their opposition. They've dominated the Broncos in nearly every facet. Across the ruck, the collisions they've won, the yardage they've won, the creative opportunities they've won. It's been sloppy from both sides. There's been errors which takes a little bit of an edge off a game, but it is round one. It's humid, and everyone's still getting a feel for getting their bodies and teamwork everything back into sync. But 18-0 is an accurate reflection that the Panthers have come in to play. They're coming for redemption. They got hammered here. They were up 14-0, and their dynasty ended at the hands of the Broncos. They want to make those perpetrators pay, and right now they're doing it. It's a wonderful performance. Across the punt, they've been a bad player, Q. They've all been good. The guys that touched the ball have been the best. Edwards has been great. Cleary's been good. I've liked when I've seen the edge back rowers. It's been fantastic.
Dylan Edwards, first 40 minutes of 2026, 159 run metres.
Wow.
Luke Garner with 120, the best in the forwards, but there you go. We were sort of looking at that storyline of Reece Walsh, the Kangaroos incumbent fullback, Dylan Edwards playing against him tonight. 159 run metres, 62% possession for the Panthers.
Run metres, Broncos 471, Panthers 952. Wow, double. They're absolutely. So in my mind, I'm thinking, they're winning. It's not a winning, it's a massacre.
At the moment, 18-0 the scoreline. Thanks, Billy. Keep your messages coming on 0467 920 222 if you've just tuned in. Great to have your company on NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Earlier, the Wars too good across the ditch over the Roosters. Jackson Ford got the 3 votes from Luke Lewis as the Warriors won 42 points to 18. In the AFL, early second quarter, Gold Coast 7 goals 345, lead Geelong 2-14. And a pretty good performance from the Australians with the ball in the cricket. India sent in to bat 8 for 180. India 8 for 180. That's the pink ball test at the Wacker, so it will go well into the evening, and you can hear it, of course, on the pink ball button on ABC Listen. Halftime at the Cauldron, Penrith 18, Brisbane 0. More to come from NRL Friday on ABC Sport after a trip to the newsroom.
ABC News with Noni Edwards. Foreign Minister Penny Wong says she's disappointed that more Australians are not on board the few flights returning from the Middle East to Australia. An Etihad flight that left for Sydney last night was reportedly half empty. The government says commercial flights are the most efficient way to get Australians home, but has deployed military transport planes to the region as a contingency. Senator Wong says she'd like to see more Australians boarding commercial flights.
That is really disappointing, and I'm disappointed with that. So we are seeking to work even more closely with the airlines to try and coordinate that. We want every seat filled.
Some international travellers affected by flight disruptions at Dubai Airport say they were left without information for some time. The first flight from Dubai to San Francisco since the outbreak of the war in the Middle East has landed at San Francisco International today. More than 10 million seats were expected to fly in and out of major international airports in Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Doha this week alone before closures impacted travel. California resident Heather Doherty says she's glad to be home after difficulties returning.
Our flight had taken off in Dubai on Saturday and had to turn around as things got heated up over Iran. So we landed and just didn't really have any information for a couple of days. So we're really happy to be home.
One of the world's largest container shipping companies, Maersk, has announced it will temporarily stop certain services. The FM1 service, which links the Far East to the Middle East, and the ME11 service, connecting the Middle East to Europe, will both be suspended. The company has said in a statement the decision has been taken as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of personnel and vessels. In Australia, the consumer watchdog has asked petrol retailers across the country to justify their price increases after warning them against using Middle East conflict-driven market volatility as an excuse to hike prices. The average price of unleaded petrol has surged past $2 a litre in major capital cities. ACCC Commissioner Anna Breakey says they're watching the industry very closely.
We have written to the petrol retailers to ask them to explain to us how the change in the Bowser prices reflect the international prices. So we'll have a close look at that.
Flooding at Catherine River has hit major flood levels, surpassing 17.5 metres. Secure NT says there are at least 70 people sheltering at Catherine High. Catherine Hospital has been evacuated and closed, and residents are being warned to move to higher ground to shelter. The local member for a flood-affected Northern Territory community has questioned the government's emergency response to rising river levels in the town of Palumpa. Helicopter evacuations of sick and vulnerable people in the community west of Catherine began late this afternoon. But authorities say given the time of day, other residents were moved to higher ground within the community itself, with food and other supplies provided for the evening. Labor member Duran Young says anxious residents have been asking him why they were not evacuated earlier.
Considering, the CLP government have known about this since this morning and they've had all day to get people out is the biggest concern. People should have been flown out as quickly as possible.
Changes to the use of tear gas in New South Wales prisons have been recommended following the death of an Aboriginal man in custody. Ewan man Gregory Merriman died of a heart attack at the Silverwater Remand Centre in December 2022 after CS gas was deployed in his prison wing. The coroner found he was locked in his cell and not involved in the fight that triggered the response. His brother Mark Merriman says while the family hopes the findings improve prison conditions, the justice they wanted for Greg won't be done. Returning overseas, and the counter-terrorism policing in London has arrested 4 men suspected of helping a foreign intelligence service linked to Iran. The men, 1 Iranian and 3 dual British-Iranian nationals, all aged between 22 and 55, were detained in Barnet and Watford. London police are investigating whether they were involved in the possible surveillance of people and sites connected to the Jewish community there. And the southern Indian state of Karnataka has banned the use of social media by those under the age of 16. It becomes the first state in India to join global calls for more scrutiny of minors' digital usage. Concerns surrounding child social media addiction and exposure were prompted by Australia becoming the first country to ban it for children last December. You're up to date now with ABC News.
12 teams, 3 cities, 1 dream.
Great touch on the edge of the box, right foot strike, and she scores! Unbelievable!
ABC Listen, your home of the AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026.
Dribbles to the edge of the area, strikes. Oh, it's in. What a wonderful goal.
One match live every day. Every Matildas game, every final. On ABC Listen. Just look for the green and gold Asian Cup button.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Cleary from 30 from the goal line, bombs at the end of the set. Walsh leaps, Jenkins leaps, ricochet to McLean. Casey McLean goes over in the corner for Penrith. And the Panthers, if there's no knock on in the lead, go to the lead, and referee G likes it. The way he saw it, it's a try to Penrith. Only 10 metres out, a mistake from Karapani, and Penrith with a fresh set, 10 metres out. Cleary received, passes right for Edwards, steps up his right, beats Gajewski, rolls through the tackle of Hakes, and goes in for Penrith's second try. Only 2 metres out, last play for Penrith. Kenny with a sweeping ball to the left. Talangi rides the tackle of Staggs, kicks to the wing for Jenkins, catches, scores, and Penrith go in for a third try of the first half. Brilliant execution again from the Panthers.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Oh, welcome back to the Cauldron with Spider Bait entertaining the masses at half time. At the break. Lights are off, set for the fireworks, and the lasers firing around the stadium. Oh, they did 2 songs, Buy Me a Pony, and then here we go, Black Betty, Quentin Hull along with Billy Moore and Zane Bojack.
Biggest show in town.
They always just flex, don't they, for Friday night footy? Oh, more fireworks.
50,000 in the house. You roll out Spider Bait at half time. Only one problem, you're down 18-0.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Earlier this evening, the Warriors beat the Roosters 42 points to 18. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. It's great to be back at the footy. It's a humid night, and boy, isn't the heat on the reigning champions. Heard the highlights there, 3 tries in the first half to Penrith. A little bit more delving into how we've got to this point. Billy Moore is now, the stadium lights go up, and it looks like it's about to storm with all the black T-shirted roadies. They look like ants scurrying around before the rain down below, clearing the lights and the stage, and there's a smoke haze around the place. Anyway, that's the secondary show. What about the main gig?
Well, I imagine Maguire has had to roll out the usual storyline. When you think their last 3 games of the last season in NRL, they came from death's door to win all those. They're going to come from 3 tries, 18-0 against a team that you thought for half a decade it was impossible to come back against. Well, they found a way out of that hole in the prelim here. So they've done it before. They were down 14-0. So they've done it before. Can they do it again? Well, they can, but not playing the way they're playing.
Well, how's the sell at this time of year, though? It's easy to sell that at the back end of the season, in the finals. That's a good question to see whether or not this Broncos team above the shoulders is ready to go, because you're right. Of course, they had the ridiculous comeback in Canberra. Yep. They were down against Penrith. They were down against the Storm in the grand final. But, look, when you're at that end of the season, Billy, you've been a marathon runner. You know what it's like when you've only got 2 Ks to go. It's harder to sell when you feel the pinch after 8 Ks, isn't it?
Yeah, when you can smell the finish line, there's something that brings into you intrinsically. You absorb the moment and you make the most of it.
Yeah.
Right now, you're right. The finish line's not even thought about. Not even, you're just getting to the groove. And right now, you can see the groove for Penrith is absolutely startling how good they've looked, considering they've still made 7 mistakes. I'll be surprised if they do that many mistakes in the second half. Brisbane made 8, but the key factor is getting the ball down the park. Brisbane's only gone for 471 metres. Double that, that's what Penrith did, 952. So this is the second half where the middles of Brisbane have got to grab hold of this game. We've talked about some wonderful performances that have caught my eye for Penrith. I'm trying to think who in Brisbane has caught your eye. There hasn't really been much. Even great Payne Haas hasn't really done much. The 1-2 punch hasn't really been there. Walsh hasn't really done anything. So they haven't troubled and asked any questions of the Penrith defensive line as yet.
Well, when Ben Hunt went to hooker, that was one thing that looked good. By the way, loving your text messages during the evening. Keep them coming on 0467 920 222. One request, please send us your name, and if you can also where you're texting from. An unnamed text here says, "What is that terrible music?" Well, a lot of people here enjoyed it. That's Spider-Bait.
Oh, that's
we'd like to bring you...
icon.
Yeah, ABC Sport brings you into the stadium as much as we can. So that was the halftime entertainment. Great call, gents. Underrated benefit tonight. Yeah, thank you for that. That's another unnamed text. Ian from Corralba says lots of rocks but no diamonds from Walsh so far. He hasn't done too much. Thank you to Rob from Ipswich. Great to have you and the team back. Good on you, Rob. 0467 920 222. Now, that's actually Tom Petty in the background now. He's not here, by the way. That'd be something if Tom Petty was here.
Oh, that is magic.
That would be magic. Second half is underway amid the firework haze, which is still around the ground. Penrith kick off, and the Broncos have got the football. Willison with the first carry, 15 metres from the Caxton Street end. So the Broncos are now running to the right of your radio dial down to the southern end in this second half. Penrith leading 18-0. Here's Haas down the middle third. He's cut down by Billy Phillips, and also Sorensen up to the 30 goes Haas. Now Hunt to the right. Carrigan to Reynolds, feeds the inside line of Ricky, but he's met solidly by the Panthers defence. 3 men in pink crush Jordan Ricky to the deck, 15 metres from halfway. Back to left and centre field for the one-out run of Carrigan. He stands middle of the park, 8 metres inside Broncos territory. Last play of the opening set of the second half. Adam Reynolds from 5 inside his own half, kicks high and deep downfield. It's going to be caught by Jenkins, defensive left corner, and the first half try scorer stopped, 22 from his own line. Okay, Zano, your first half-time report of the season. Let's get down to the touchline with a word from the room. Zane Bojack.
Well, Michael Maguire said you guys know how to do it because you've already done it against this team, and you did it here at this ground last year. He wants better defensive intensity in the first 10 minutes. He said you've got to learn to grind against Penrith, otherwise you're not going to win this game. As for Ivan Cleary, he said the scoreboard's 0-0. You guys have got to go out there and win this second half once again. Everything else is forgotten. Otherwise, he said, I think you guys are going okay. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And here's a guy that just keeps doing what he does. Isaiah Yo, another good run.
World class, world's best. Do your job, play it in the game.
15 metres down the middle third on the penultimate play. Now at the end of the set, Cleary from 35 out bombs. Walsh leaps and catches. Immediately is tackled as his boots hit the deck by the chase there of Garner, but the crowd like that. And referee G tells Reece Walsh to get back and play the ball on the mark. He didn't sort of do too much in the first half, Reece Walsh.
And what you notice,
not that he was absent, you know what I mean?
If you watch...
high tackle here. Sorry, Billy.
I was going to say the Broncos are not putting their nose through any tackles. They're not making any after contact yardage, whereas the Panthers are constantly into the line and then making 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. The Broncos have to win those collisions.
Bit of a loose arm from Billy Phillips. It slipped up. It's not on report, but it gives the Broncos a kick downfield, and they start this set on halfway. Early stages second half, Penrith leading 18-0, but Brisbane get into attacking territory through the run of Ricky. He loses the ball. Jordan Ricky, clean loss of the ball on the first play off the penalty.
And it was Billy Phillips who fixed up his error. Can I be a little bit facetious and suggest that instead of the lift go flash, we've got the lift go dash when it comes to Billy Phillips?
Nice one. The lift go bash, Billy Phillips, just his second game. And this is where we need to double check, Zeno. How many bench players of the 6 have been activated by
Broncos? 3.
Yeah, so that's Tolte, Willison and Mann.
That's correct.
So they still have a choice of Tafa, Anderson and Jaden Hunt.
Yeah, and according to my records here, Penrith have only activated 2, which is Sorensen and Billy Phillips.
So they still have Cogger, Kalani going, Freddie Lussick and Tungle. Has Tungle...
He won't play tonight, Kim.
Yeah, he's sort of... He was in the starting team, but...
He's in limbo, mate. There is moves afoot there, I can tell you.
Okay, well, we've got to keep that, of course. 6 players available, but only 4 allowed to be used unless there is a concussion protocol which can bring in a 5th activated player. Penrith with the ball. They're 33 metres from Brisbane's line centre park. Played there by McLean, the opening try scorer. Pass right for Cleary, doesn't like it there. Gives it back to Talangi. Now on to Phillips. The Lithgow bash, as Zane's anointed him. He's tackled after stepping through a little bit of a hole. Haas wraps him up 22 metres out. Slow play the ball for Kenny. Passes left for Cleary. It's the last play. Cleary, a chip bomb from 20 metres out, comes down. Oh, bounces and bounces backwards towards the Panthers on the 10. Touched by Harrigan backwards for the Broncos and jumped on by a Brisbane player. 8 from the goal line. That was messy, but Xavier Willison gets on the end of it. And Brisbane somehow survived that. No one wanted to catch the Nathan Cleary little prospector there.
Well, they flirted with danger. Had they got the ball back, Penrith, because it was touched by Brisbane, that would have been a hell of a job to hold the Panthers out that next set of 6.
Played by Staggs. Brisbane still on the 20 out on the right. Couple of sets of hands to centre field. Reynolds on the Mam. And Ezra Mam with 3 tacklers around him is put down. 20 in from touch on the left. Broncos still on their own 30. Cleary put a hand on him to slow down the play the ball. That's the ping. 6 more. And that's a favourable outcome for Broncos supporters. Willison with a run up to the 40. Now Carrigan runs out the line. Passes right for Reynolds. Dummy pass. Staggs over halfway. Caught from behind by McLean around his legs and Edwards up top. But a little line break for Brisbane. And they go into attack. Reynolds 35 out centre field. Holds it. Gives it to the left for Walsh. Cut out to the edge. Sivasaki draws and passes, but passes over the touchline.
Was that touched?
Did it take a Penrith touch? It may not have, Philly.
I think you said no touch there.
No, it's going to be a Penrith ball. You're right. So that was a left side shift and the last pass going awry from Genat Shibasaki. It missed Karapani over the eastern touchline.
In full flight, he tried to do a no-look pass to bring the defender in. Unfortunately, without looking, the pass went astray.
It had a rush from Victory Pocket. A listener from... Was it a guy with a fire in Tumbarumba? Hobbsy, thank you. 0467920222. Everyone getting back to their Friday night ritual here. It's NRL Friday on ABC Sport. The wire's too good for the Chooks earlier across the ditch. 42 points to 18. Here, 6.5 minutes played second half. No change to the halftime score. Penrith leading 18-0. Panthers with the ball as Yo almost poked his nose through the tackle of Haas there, who had to be up to his best to stop Isaiah Yo. 45 out. Played to Kenny. Pass right for Cleary. Chip in behind the line. He puts it into the defensive left corner for the Broncos, and it rolls over the touchline near the corner post.
They look a bit gassed, Zano, the Bronx. Hands on hips there. They certainly look like they're the ones running up the hill.
Well, I know that there was a lot of concern that they didn't start well in that match in the World Club Challenge, and as Q said, you know, it was a pre-season game, but I'm just worried that Penrith come out with the intensity. They have lifted in the second half, but they're going to have to do better. As you said, Billy, they're just not getting through the line.
Around the grounds, India still 8 down in the cricket, 8-4-180. You can hear that on the pink button on ABC. Listen, close to half-time in the AFL. Gold Coast 10-4-64, lead Geelong 4-4-28. Ezra Mam's got the ball for Brisbane as they shift it to the left. Kajetski receives, but he's tackled again by they look organised, the Penrith defensive line. 10 from halfway, and it shouldn't surprise us, but for round 1, they've come here and all those I's seem to be dotted and T's seem to be crossed as Ben Hunt kicks downfield. Dylan Edwards has to scurry after it. He gets it off the deck, 6 from his own line, runs past Carrigan and gets beyond the 20 on the kick return. He has started in ripping form. Dylan Edwards, he's 22 out when tackled by Ricky. Plays the ball to Talangi, given on to Jenkins, who hits the defence and takes the tackle. Penrith on their own 30 in the middle of Lang Park at the southern end. Played to Kenny. Passes one man right in the infield for Brian To'o. And the helmeted flying winger is taking a dozen inside Panthers territory. Plays it to Kenny, given left to Edwards, who has a run at the line. Taken down 3 metres from the goal line. He'll end up with easily more than 200 run metres tonight, Dylan Edwards. 159 run metres alone in the first half for the Penrith custodian. To the right, through Cleary, through the hands. Kalani Goings out there now in just his second game. Ex-Warriors player, New South Wales Cup Player of the Year. Gets his next chance at first grade, and he's tackled here and he's lost the ball.
That was good to D there by the Broncos. Left edge, which has been vulnerable tonight.
And saying we were having a chat to Michael Block from the Panthers. Now, just remember... Lulawai going.
Yeah, that's what he wants to be called.
He's going to be known as Kalani Lulawai going. So this is going. His only previous game was against the Dolphins in round 27 of the 2023 season. That was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
When they rested all their players pre-finals.
Yeah, last week before going into...
That's 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
He's 29 years of age, so he's not young.
Yep.
That's great story.
So, and New South Wales Cup Player of the Year last year for the Warriors. So, he gets into that Penrith system, and who knows, he might be the Gimat Shibasaki of 2026. Anyway, Brisbane's got the ball. 10 minutes played second half, still Penrith 18, Brisbane 0. Played there by Ricky for Brisbane. Ben Hunt passes left, give it a carry and pops it up for Haas. And Haas has got 3 around him. He's still got 7, 8, 9 post contact metres for Big Payne before being tackled. 20 in from touch on the left and 35 out. Played to Ben Hunt. Given to the right for Carrigan. Short ball, Willison. Dragged down by Papali'i down low. And Yo up top. 25 out centre field Broncos. Played to Hunt. Given left for Haas through the hands. Mam has a juggle. Catches. Gives him with Shibasaki. Alamotti comes in to make first contact. And Shibasaki's tackled. 15 now. 10 in from the left. Pass back to right and centre field for Reynolds. End of the set. Chips for the in-goal area. Flying is Ricky. Couldn't get his hands on it. It's gone through a couple of sets of digits. And the referee says it's a Brisbane knock-on. And Penrith survived the raid.
They got their nose through a couple of times in that centre six, obviously led by Haas. But I sort of feel that Reece Walsh is not sort of timing and joining the back line where he should do, because normally he picks his spot and places it.
Jenkins has lost the ball, Billy. That's first play. 15 out, centre field.
Well, so this is the point I was making.
Challenge here from Penrith.
And talking about Penrith, they're about to bring on Jack Cogger, which would be their 4th replacement, which means that that's all they've got left for the next 30 minutes. So it is a risk, but that's what they're running with. They've got Cogger out there now as Isaiah Yo takes a break.
So Cogger activated, Going activated, Phillips activated, and Sorensen. They're the 4 that get a go tonight. And I tell you what,
they're challenging on a strip here.
Yeah. This story of...
Just checking the angles there. There's no stripping action from Brisbane. Just to see which way the ball goes from Thomas Jenkins.
Here's my crystal ball headline. It's no great prognostication. Clubs at war with the NRL at Origin time. You're going to have 4 superstars not used at Origin and not playing club football in the middle of the year. That's where the 4 out of 6 is going to blow up big time.
And for me, what I've seen after the first couple of games is great, this 6-man bench, because chance to blood some younger players.
That's one angle. Play on at this stage.
But this is a challenge for Penrith on the knock-on from Jenkins.
So they've not called it a knock-on. It's gone backwards. It's picked up. This is going to be a Panthers ball.
And Brian Toe takes possession. This is a mutual infringement.
So that's actually fine in the
challenge is successful.
Challenge is successful.
So Panthers get the ball.
Yeah, so
that's a huge turn of events.
You think of the stories around 18th, 19th men being brought into camp for Origin, it's going to be worse.
Well, we had that with Matt Burton.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
And was it Tommy Turbo as well?
Turbo knocked it back last year.
Yeah. So, there you go. Bold prediction. Clubs at war with NRL during Origin. As 4 stars sit and rest from club football and don't touch the ball during Origin.
I like the opportunity to blood younger players, but that point you're making is very valid as well.
Anyway, we're going to get lots of stories through 2026. Fantastic that we're back on the road here, NRL Friday on ABC Sports. So the Panthers challenge successful, and it's only taken about less than an hour, Zane. for the locals in Brisbane to let their public vote be known here as Cleary gets a high tackle. No, slipped up off the shoulder. That's okay from Ezra Mann. And Cleary's tackled Penrith with the ball out on the right on their own 30. One man infielder goes to going and he's put down.
We can get hot under the collar north of the border, Q.
Yep, going tackle a dozen from halfway.
Sometimes even in the office when it's just me talking to you.
It's worth a podcast alone sometimes. Our chats, Cogger plays the ball. Cleary kicks downfield at the end of the set. From halfway, good purchase on the kick. It's caught by Carapani of Brisbane on his 10. Beyond the 20 on the kick return before being stopped midway goal line and halfway. A dozen minutes played in the second half. No change to the halftime score. It's Penrith 18, leading Brisbane 0. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack with you. The Friday night team back at the Cauldron. Hope you're enjoying an NRL Friday on ABC Sport as Shibasaki is tackled. 10 in from the left, 15 from halfway. Infield runs Tolty, I fancy. He swamped under a... No, it was Gajewski. He stopped 10 from halfway. Now to the right, Carrigan catches, gives to Reynolds, passes to Walsh. Walsh draws a man, passes to Mariner, over halfway, cut down by McLean. He rides the tackle. Then 4 defenders get around him and push him over the western touchline. And McLean stands over his tackled player, gives him a mouthful. Not far from you, Zeno. And there's an intent from the Panthers shown right there.
Absolutely, and they all came in and absolutely congratulated Casey McLean, Jenkins, all the players that were there to make that tackle. Talangi, they were all there. Dylan Edwards, they all got in a huddle and said, well done, boys. If you want an indication that the Panthers are on, that is it right there. And I can also tell you that Katoni Staggs got a spray from Dean Mariner for getting the pass. I thought it was on. He just needed to go back and zig left rather than zigging right.
That personifies tonight. That shows you exactly as Sonos frames up the absolute intensity that the Panthers are playing with.
And it sort of reminds me, what did we see at the start of last season from Penrith that we sloppy, that we aren't seeing? We you know what we didn't see from the we didn't see nil.
Yeah, yes.
We didn't see nil.
Yes.
And what's the scoreline tonight? Well, Penrith in front and opposition nil.
Yep.
18-0 to be precise.
Their greatest strength is that they attack you with their defence.
That's basically what got them to 5 straight grand finals, which was missing the first half of last year. High tackle here from the Broncos from Carrigan. Penalty Panthers 45 out centre field.
And this is where the choke starts to happen. Scoreboard pressure's on. The Broncos aren't playing as well as they should do. Penrith just grind out and they get themselves in a position right now. This set of 6:35 out. This could be the match, Zeno. They score here, game over.
And Toldy back on the field too as Carrigan takes a rest.
Panthers take the tap. No, great gain on the kick downfield. And Phillips with the first carry.
Good carry.
Centre field, 28 metres out. He was pushed back a couple. Eventually by a 3-man Broncos tackle. Kenny's in there at dummy half. Distributes right for Cleary. Steps off his right. Can't get through the hole. Nice tackle made by Ben Hunt. He's had a good game, Ben Hunt. At 35 years of age. Very valuable tonight. Talangi feeds the inside ball for Papali'i. And Isaiah Papali'i's looks awkward. His body bent in a different nasty looking way. He's okay. He'll play it 15 metres out to Kenny. Given right. Cogger, Cleary, quick hands Edwards, right edge Alamotti. Draw and pass and well done. Carapani put his body in the way. Knocked it on, but there was an overlap on the right wing and 4 points coming for the Panthers. Had Carapani not put his body there, he just couldn't control the Steeden with the intercept.
Might be a bit harsh to say he butchered it, Alamotti, because it's great work by the Panthers. Inside players, Cleary, Edwards created the space. Had he delivered that pass a little fraction earlier, it was good work by Mariner, but had he delivered it earlier, there could have been a try gone begging there.
And Toto was ready to receive out there. Shifting defence was coming, but for all intents and purposes, it was an overlap.
If anyone can get through shifting defence, it's Toto.
Panthers scrum out on the right. They shift it quickly to centre field, but the Broncos defence ensuring the tackle is made. Dozen metres out centre field as Cleary gets up to play the ball. Kenny to the left. Talangi gives it on to Papali'i. Isaiah Papali'i stands and eventually crumbles to a knee. 10 to the left of the uprights, only 8 metres out. Panthers lead 18-0. No score in this second half as yet. Cogger steps off his right and has a straightening run. Cut down under the post. Penrith looking ominous here. Kenny passes right for Cleary to Edwards. Edwards to Alamotti. Great tackle, Shibasaki, 1-on-1. one. Came out of the line and cuts him down. 5 in from the touchline, 5 from the goal line. Edwards at dummy half, runs infield, loses the ball. He was looking for a little hit and spin there with Kalani going, but it's gone knocked on. And that's come unstuck for the Panthers. The Broncos are just hanging on. There's still 24 minutes, so plenty of time in the game, Billy. But boy, the Bronx are under the pump at home here on opening night.
Well, they're being tested everywhere across this park. The Panthers, as we've said, they've come to play and they're playing beautiful football. Their left side, right side, through the middle, doesn't matter. They have penetration everywhere. And the Bronx, that was a good set of 6. Shibasaki, great D. They're going to keep them, and they're going to return the shot. They're going to be a bit more creative. They need Walsh to time his runs, get involved as much as possible.
I tell you what, if Kalani had caught that one, then it would have been gone for the Broncos. I just want to quickly say this. I know 23 minutes to go. Do you think it's a 4-score game for the Broncos? I think field goal by Panthers shut this game down.
Lost
Tolte
ball.
dropped the cue.
Tolte, play 3. Play 3 off the scrum. Knock on Tolte before getting to the 30.
Well, that's about the 4th error in this second half. And I think it's the fatigue setting in now, the humidity, all those factors. It's a shame. It's taking the edge off a high-quality game. But the Broncos can't mount any pressure because they just cannot get down the other end of the park.
Tries to McLean, Edwards and Jenkins in the first half on 6 minutes, 22 minutes, and then right on half-time. Cleary with 2 from 3 conversions and a penalty goal. 18-0, that's where we're at. Panthers win the scrum. Tackle right edge and only 20 metres out. Plays it on the red stripe there. Kenny blindside right. Gives it on to Kalani going. I like that line, Zeno. Going. Yeah, they're not gone yet, the Broncos. As Kalani plays it past infield to Sorensen on a straightening run. Scott Sorensen 10 to the right of the uprights and only 8 metres out. That's 2 or 3. There's plenty of tackles left in the set here. That was 3. Now on a straightening run is Phillips. He's got 2 defenders around him. He stands and will play the ball 6 metres out under the black dot at the Caxton Street end. Kenny to the left from Cleary. 6 more as Talangi's pass goes through McLean. Cleaned up by Jenkins on the left edge. Penalty goes to Brisbane. No advantage. Offside Broncos.
Do you go to 2, Bill? You've got to go to 2, surely.
Well, this is the weird thing about the 6 again. If during the call of 6 again, the team advantaged by the call makes an error, the referee is compelled to blow the whistle, which gives the opportunity for 2 points to be taken. I don't know how to solve the nuance, but ever since that rule has been a part of the game, we realise that sometimes a 6 again has been called by a team which would love to take 2 points, but they can't unless they make a mistake themselves in the act of the reset being given.
Okay, I'll go back to the back of my book and start writing this down. It's a good point you
it's
make.
Like when it's like when there are runs scored from a DRS challenge in cricket that then become a dot ball because the DRS challenge has been made. So yeah, it's very hard to make these things perfect.
So the attack, when they realise the advantage is not going to be taken their way, they're happy to actually almost make an error.
You go to a knee and chuck it, and then you can chuck it forward. You can get your shot at 2.
Spirit of the game.
So 18-0. No wonder they're having the shot for 2. And Nathan Cleary 10 in from touch on the left, 20 metres out, makes it 20-0 Penrith. Kicks the penalty goal. 20 and a half minutes remain at Lang Park. And it's the Panthers 20 leading the Premiers 0.
Well, remember last week in Las Vegas, the Dragons and the Bulldogs took 89 minutes to kick a field goal. I think we've just been put out of our misery with that penalty from referee G.
Well, they've got to score in the next 5 minutes to make this a contest, the Broncos. And obviously I've used his name already many times. It's Reece Walsh. He has to get better involved and pick his time and get onto the fringe of the ruck.
Walsh's kickoff is knocked on by Talangi.
Here comes the chance.
It was a bit of a tumbling trajectory, and Talangi had to really scurry to get to the drop a couple of metres from the goal line and knocks it on.
He never got his body behind the ball either. He was always moving across to get to it. It was a bit of a grab and missed it cold.
It's got to start now for the Bronx if it is to start. 19 and a half minutes remaining. And Brisbane's going to take the scrum from 10 metres in from touch on the right.
The thing is, you're up against a side that's defence tonight has been absolutely startlingly good. Can they find a chink in this pink armour?
What a house this is. 45,566 for opening night. Broncos win the scrum. Reynolds passes to Walsh. No room to move though. Absolutely swamped by the defence, which was led by Nathan Cleary. His teammates pushing backwards. Walsh got an offload away, but the referee says, no, I called hell. Broncos fans are unhappy. But they do get unhappy. Yeah, when they're getting done. By the way, if I have one regret of the season, nothing against Louis. You deserve to share that preliminary final atmosphere with me last year. It was ridiculous here on that Sunday. Right side shift. Walsh gives to Staggs, rolls to the in goal area and held up. Held up. Great defence from Penrith.
He butchered that, Zano. He should have passed.
Yeah, maybe he thought the last time I passed to Dean, he gave me a spray, but on this occasion, brilliant. Just brilliant scramble again from the Panthers. They still got another play the ball, though.
Out to the 10, Staggs plays it on the right edge. Mariner feeds it infield from Walsh to Reynolds. Given to Haas, who was pretty flat-footed when he receives it, but he does his job as usual, chugs forward and it's taken 11 metres from the Penrith line. Brisbane yet to score in their premiership defence. It's 20-0 in favour of the Panthers as Walsh bounces out of a tackle of Leota, but stopped by Edwards 2 metres from the goal line. Last play, Brisbane. Played to Hunt, passes left and centre field for Reynolds. Gives it to the left for Mam. Flat ball, Willison knocks it on. Brilliant ball from Ezra Mam. Xavier Willison need only catch and charge the 6 or 7 metres, but he dropped it cold. Hurt locker, bomb try. Bomb try.
Well, that's 2 bomb tries in the space of 3 tackles. Staggs should offload, didn't, and Xavier Wilson catches it. He wasn't home and hose, but at that size with that much pace, there's no way Edwards was going to be able to stop him.
Well, that's taken a bit of the gas out of the stadium as well. 17 and a half minutes left. Penrith with the ball. 15 from their own line, leading 20-0. NRL Friday on ABC Sport with Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Warriors earlier tonight beating the Roosters 42-18 as Penrith on the left edge. Here is that McLean or Talangi? That is McLean. He plays the ball 25 from his own line. Now given to Edwards. He's had a huge night, Dylan Edwards. If this is a sign of things to come, he's in for a very big 2026. 15 from halfway. Plays the ball to the right. Leota to Cleary to Alamotti. Beats the tackle of Shibasaki. Pushes away from Mam. Passes to the wing for Toto. Toto knocks on. And picked up by the Broncos. It's Ben Hunt streaming downfield, passes infield to Mam. Mam to the 30, meets the defence. Toto makes the tackle. So now Brisbane on the counter-attack. They've got to score here to get back into the game. They're down 20-0 with 16 and a half to go. Haas has got it running laterally about 30 metres out. Got stopped, flops it out the back, knocked on. He flopped an optimistic ball to Ben Hunt, who knocks it on.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting it, Hunt. He should have. You could just see Big Haas was stopped and he was looking to offload. It just hasn't worked tonight for the Broncos. And lay that at the feet of the Penrith defence. It's just been startling, Zano, for round 1 to be this good in defence.
So, all players looking pretty tired now, as you can imagine, about 16 minutes to go in the first game of the season. Penrith, by the way, go to Bathurst next week. They play the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, who will start their campaign against the Gold Coast Titans. Josh Hannane, his first game in control.
Can't wait for that one.
Back to his most, immediate club, where he was assistant to Craig Fitzgibbon. So, of course, every game for you here on ABC Sport. The first Saturday triple header of the season. Sorry, we only got 2 tomorrow. That's right, because of the Vegas round. Yeah, Cronulla and Gold Coast at 5:30, and then Manly and Canberra in the evening.
I had a technical malfunction, Bill. Sorry about that when you threw to me. By the way, Telfer brings out the top 4 or the 4 reserves for the Broncos.
Thank you. Oblix Telfer, ex-Dolphin. End of the set for Penrith. Cleary from 30 out. Bombs. Knocked down. Cleaned up by the Panthers. Oh, and a try saver from Ezra Mam coming from behind to knock the ball out of the hands of Jack Cogger.
He does it at
Lindsay
Penrith.
Smith cleaned it up, gave to Cogger, and he had 5 metres to run with no one in front of him, but Mam came from behind to knock the ball out.
Ezra Mam, the way he hits the ball in the carrying arm, you often see him dislodge it here. He's got really good at striking the body of the carrier in the right spot to dislodge it.
Absolute try saver. Cogger would have been in for all money. Let's get around the grounds as we wait for this scrum to be packed. And the cricket sort of slowed down a bit over at the Wacker. They must be having one of the breaks there. A session to go, I'd fancy. Let's check the score. India 8 for 193, having been sent into bat. And hear it on the pink button on ABC Listen. The challenge here. I'll just give you that half-time AFL score. Gold Coast lead Geelong by 42 points at half-time at Carrara. Gold Coast 42 points to the good of the Cats. By the way, it was Jackson Ford who got the 3 votes from Louis, the Player of the Year votes in the Warriors 42-18 victory. Oh, seek and destroy. Got to see this live here during the off-season. Metallica is ace.
Have they still got it at their age?
Oh, yeah. There's only, one thing that can compare to the footy at the Cauldron. That's an iconic heavy metal band. Yeah.
I did see AC/DC here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Were they good?
They're good. Bit old.
Still got it, though.
Oh,
Still got it. 14 minutes left in the game. Brisbane yet to crack this Panthers defence. Out on the right, Mariners tackle. 8 inside his own half on the right edge. Hunt passes infield to Reynolds. Double cut out to the centre of the field for Mam. Cut out through the hands of Walsh to Shibasaki. Out to the left edge. And the defence comes to chop down Karapani. 42 metres out. Plays the ball tending from touch on that eastern side. Played to Shibasaki. Given to Walsh. Feeds it to the centre of the field. And no way through there on the Broncos. Ball carrying run from Talfa. Plays it 32 out. Walsh blindside right. Wraps. Got tackled. Kept it alive. Flops it out the back to Ricky. Little chip in behind the line. But Dylan Edwards is there to take it. And Edwards has tackled 5 from his own line.
His work rate's picked up. Walsh, he's getting involved. 3 tackles every set of 6.
Oh, double whammy. You've got Jordan Ricky kicking on the last for the Broncos, and then they're offside from the play the ball, and they give Penrith a piggyback of about 25 metres. Like, seriously, when you're down by 20, 13 minutes to go, you've got to get everything right, and they just keep coming up with everything wrong.
Now, just double check. Paul sent us a text about that penalty that the Panthers took. So the referee did indicate 6 again, but then because it was offside, he blew the penalty. So, yeah, I think he then realised that I've got to blow the penalty anyway. Right. Yeah. Still just, dusting off all the...
Little nuance, because obviously this is the first time we've seen it, in real time. We've talked about it, but when you watch it, you've got to react.
Yeah. And look, ever since we called the first ever 6 again game here, remember, during COVID? And what was that? Brisbane versus Parramatta back in 2020. And we've been sort of trying to keep up with the infringements around 6 again ever since that came into the game. Thank you, Paul. 0467920222. Yo's got the ball. Yo's tackle, 31 metres out. Penrith with a charge down from Cleary's kick from Hunt. He's regathered at Ben Hunt, but quickly tackled. He's been excellent tonight, Ben Hunt. He stopped 6 metres his own side of halfway. So Cleary not getting that kick away. Mam has a 1-out run. Over halfway, tackle 47 from the Panthers line. 20 points to 0 to Penrith over the Premiers. Gee, the Broncos might need Parramatta to come to town before they can actually score a point in their premiership defence. That's Thursday. The Eels off the back of getting 50 put on them last night in Melbourne as Haas goes forward. And Haas has tackled 31 metres out centre field. Plays the ball to Pakes, given right for Reynolds. Shows it, pops it to the infield run of Staggs. He's got Liotta there with others. Oh, good pass out the back. Kept alive with the offload to Pakes. Given a Hunt. Grubbers out towards the attacking left. To'o's there to track it. He's got it. He loses his boot, but gathers the football and is tackled just in the field of play.
That's amazing. They weren't able to put To'o in the in-goal area. Well done.
And now, marker not square, penalty to Penrith as To'o go and claims his boot.
He's such a professional player. He's a little man that's so aware of his size, how to maximise what he's got and minimise what he doesn't have. Zano, he's a superstar, I reckon.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's a dead-set pocket rocket. There's a reason why he was New South Wales best last year, being the Brad Fittler medal. In the end, it wasn't their fault that New South Wales went down because he was absolutely sensational in those 3 games. And there's no doubt about it. He'll be on that sky blue jersey again if he stays fit.
Hey, Zano, you know that glow that's been around Red Hill for the last 5 months?
Yeah, it's dimming.
It's about to be a race straight away. Things happen quickly with attitudes in this part of the rugby league world. The reigning premiers have been held scoreless through 70 minutes of football against, well, the team that's been the measuring stick of recent times. And who knows? Among the theatre of it all called the end of the dynasty, it was the end of the streak at least last year. But the dynasty, hey, we might have another chapter.
Really well said. You're right. The dynasty ended.
Well, the streak ended.
Yeah.
But the dynasty may have only had
an aberration.
Had a blip. Yeah, and I wouldn't even call it an aberration. They made the last 4. Cleary kicks downfield at the end of the set, and it's left that end court by Karapani, and he's jumped on 10 metres from the goal line. This one's starting to just peter out a little because Penrith's so dominant. They lead 20 points to 0.
So
with 9.5 to go.
So you're telling me, Q, it's a bit like when New South Wales won in 2014. The streak ended, but the dynasty didn't.
No, that's it. That was different. Okay, I'll give you touche. You got me. Well done. Only round 1, and he's already doing these kinds of things. Zane Bojack on the touchline. Here's Hunt. Had a great night, as mentioned. Pass to Reynolds, wrapped up by Talangi.
They're negating everything the Broncos have thrown at them. They have really suffocated this Broncos attacking machine.
Great read by Blaze Talangi coming out of the line to tackle one-on-one. Ben Hunt will have to kick at the end of the set. A torpedo downfield, which is caught by Dylan Edwards on the 20. Runs to the 30, passes to the right edge, trying to link up with Toto, but he's immediately tackled. And the Panthers have the ball down at the southern end, 30 metres from their own line. So Cronulla next week at Bathurst for Penrith. And then the Roosters at the Footy Stadium as Jenkins makes a line break, pops a pass to Edwards. Edwards tackled on halfway. He's been good, Thomas Jenkins. Talk about the team and its redemption. Well, Jenkins, he didn't get a chance to play in the finals series. So he's been good tonight. Out on the right. Ball played by Going. Now infield, it's passed through the Yotta, onto Cleary, onto Yo, given to Smith. Big full of dummies and straightens. Pops a pass to the wing, which just floats in behind the hands of Thomas Jenkins. Lindsay Smith couldn't believe himself. The big middle forward was on the edge and had a ball playing opportunity to link up with the flying Jenkins, but the pass just was mistimed.
Challenging.
Well, Greg from Brisbane's on the text says, have to say I agree, AC/DC, I've been to much better concerts.
Yeah, Brian Johnson couldn't hold the notes, and Angus Young was fantastic, but
Look at Dan Mariner.
He looked like
he makes contact now with Casey. It's like this is interference.
Sorry, but he looks like he was old.
I couldn't believe for 2 or 3 quarter hours he kept pumping it out for 78 years old. It was amazing.
Well, can I say James Hetfield's looked bedraggled for the last 30 years for a man that's been very open with, troubles with alcoholism. He turned up and he looked like James Hetfield.
Well, Angus Young,
he looked great, the lead singer of Metallica.
Angus Young looked like Diggy Nee.
If you're too young, Google, what was the name of the show with Daryl Summers?
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, it's Saturday. That's it.
But gee, he can still play the guitar.
Yeah. 7.5 minutes to go. Who would have thought that we would have got to this point? And Penrith leads 20-0. This, as the 2 points were decided, I think, about 15 minutes ago. With this relentless Penrith display, Moses Leota with a straightening run. The Panthers want more points. He's tackled centre park and only 5 metres out. Kenny with options either side. Passes to the left for Yo. Yo is wrapped up in the tackle of Pakes and Carrigan. And Isaiah Yo will play it for the men in pink. Only 3 metres from the Caxton Street in goal. Kenny to the right. wide for Cleary. Second man, Edwards. Edwards taken by Mam and dragged down. Nice tackle, Ezra Mam. Tackling's always been one of the good parts of his game. And, there's been a fumble there from Dylan Edwards. He's lost the ball before he could play the ball.
That's probably his only blemish of what's been an outstanding performance.
What was the best part of the Royal Edinburgh military tattoo? They were here recently.
When they massed...
Don't say the bagpipes.
No, when they massed on the field, there was 1,400 in sync, moving as one from all over the world.
Wow.
How they were able to manage that when, I imagine they couldn't have trained too much together. So they were from around the globe. It was startling how you could move that mass of humans in such a synchronised pattern.
Just out of interest, Billy, the Iranian marching band weren't there, were they?
No, I don't think they were, mate.
So back to the football. 6 minutes left here. Penrith leading 20-0. Broncos with the ball off that Edwards mistake. Ricky on the 20. Plays it there to Pakes, given on to Haas, who's brought down by the tackle of Cogger. I reckon Jack Cogger coming back from Newcastle is one of those unheralded signings which is going to be very important for Penrith this year.
I thought he's been very good in a very good side tonight. And you're right, he adds another dimension off the bench.
To the right, Hunt through Reynolds to Walsh. One-handed pick up. Pass intercepted by Jenkins. Put down the glasses. Jenkins is going to intercept and score his second. And the Panthers have pumped the Premiers to open their 2026. That's 24-0 kick to come. And Thomas Jenkins has scored his second try. And the men from the foot of the mountains are pretty in pink. They'll never get back preliminary final weekend. But I tell you what, they're the ones leaving smiling tonight.
Oh, yeah, they do. And that finished off a great performance by young Jenkins on this left-hand side winger. But he's one of a team of stars here tonight. There hasn't been a bad player for Penrith. And the most startling thing is not the 24, which I suspect will become 26. It's the 0 Qs you touched on. That's the Penrith of that streak of 5 in a row. 4 in a row. What they did is they were able to choke teams. And you can just see tonight they've suffocated Brisbane and given them nothing. Brisbane haven't taken their chance. I'll give them that. They've bombed at probably 3, maybe 4 tries. But this is a Penrith side that it's impressive. And they won those 4 off the back, not of their attack, but off their defence. And they've got it sorted for 2026 very early on.
Yeah, there is one number tonight on the scoreboard which is the most pleasing for Ivan Cleary. It's the naught, it's the 0, it's the zilch.
And that's why the Broncos supporters who came here wanting to celebrate with their team after winning last year's premiership are walking out the aisles right now, Q. They are disappointed that not only have Penrith been able to score 24, shortly 26, but they have not been able to see their side go over and score 1 point for this evening. Must remember, last year, Penrith beat the Sharks at Vegas and then lost their next 5. I don't think that's going to happen this year. No,
because the defence, you're right, good point, Zano. The defence looks so good tonight. You just can't see how that is going to collapse anytime soon.
Just under 4 minutes on the clock, and Nathan Cleary eyeing this conversion. 15 in from touch on the left and 17 metres out. Approaches, strikes. Cleary has 5 from 6 with the boot. And Penrith lead Brisbane 26-0 with 3 minutes and 54 seconds left. The quick around the grounds in the cricket. India, still batting just in that first day of the test match. India 9 for 195. Meanwhile in the AFL, midway through the third quarter, Gold Coast 13-7-85 lead Geelong 4-7-31. Calls available on the pink button on the Listen app for the cricket, red and blue button for the AFL.
You've got to bring Liam Martin back in this team as well.
Yeah.
He's a pretty decent player. So I'll give him a rap to the edge back rowers, but then you've got probably, if not the best, top 3 back rowers in the world still to come back into the Penrith side.
India now all out. I've just seen an adjustment. So India all out for 198. Now, the last time Brad Talon and his sticky notes have made a return in 2026, they're as iconic as the brewery out the back here at Lang Park. I'll just call this set. Penrith's got the ball off the kickoff. Edwards with another run. Oh, he's tackled 40 metres out. Last play coming up for Penrith. It's played to Kenny, given to Cleary through the hands to the right. Pack inside to Cleary. Forward pass. Forward pass. So, the last time that the Broncos were held to nil anywhere or here, Brad? Anywhere. Thank you. Have a guess.
A year and a half ago, in the middle of 23.
June 17, 2021, the Rabbitohs won 46-0. So that was not the wooden spoon season, because that was 2020, the wooden spoon season, I'm pretty sure. So it was just after that. So
that was the COVID year up here in Queensland, 2021.
Yeah, well, that was the second of the COVID. Yeah, that was the year where Sydney had the big second lockdown, and the grand final was played here, where of course Penrith started that run of. No, they didn't. Melbourne won that one there. It was the next year that, of course. No, sorry.
Yeah, Melbourne won 2020. Brisbane, Penrith won 2021 against the Bunnies.
That was the start of the run of four, indeed. 2 minutes left. Brisbane with the ball, 22 metres out. They might get on the board here. That stat might become redundant as Walsh puts up a bomb. He chases it but knocks it on. The referee didn't call knock on. Penrith's got on it anyway. So Brisbane Parramatta here on Thursday night, and then they go to Melbourne for the grand final rematch in round 3,
which will be a ripper,
and then the battle 7 against the Dolphins in round 4. So repeating, Parramatta, Melbourne, Dolphins the next 3 for the Broncos. Penrith's got Cronulla, then the Roosters, then Para. 90 seconds left in the game, and the majority of the 45,566 have left, because the majority of Broncos fans that have seen enough tonight. Loose ball jumped on by Cogger. Penrith with the ball, 25 from their own line. Dylan Edwards and runs out a dummy half and almost found another line break. He looks ravenous for football in 2026. Tackle 15 from halfway. Pass goes infield to Cleary. A 40-20 attempt from Cleary is well caught by Mariner on his chest, about 25 from the goal line. Mariner's run infield, ricochets off a couple of tacklers before being stopped by Garner. 5 inside Brisbane territory. 40 seconds left for the Broncos to get on the board here. They're going to lose the game, but can they take some skin out of the Panthers late? Tackle Karapani here, 42 out. Now Reynolds chips down the right wing looking for Staggs. The bounce is met by Dylan Edwards, and he's tackled 2 metres from the goal line. What a game Edwards has played for Penrith. What a performance from the Panthers. And the reigning premiers on opening night at their home patch have been held scoreless. Penrith with a huge statement to start 2026. They've shut out the champs. Penrith 26, Brisbane 0, zilch, nil, nothing. Game over.
Yeah, well, that's a reflection of the game. That's a fair result. That's how dominant the Penrith boys were, and you struggle to remember any period where the Broncos were really hammering away on the Penrith line. They did bomb 2 tries in the space of 3 tackles halfway through the second half, and that was the end of any sort of challenge they were going to mount against this very, very good Penrith side. But all in all, they were comprehensively defeated by a side that was just on their game. Both sides made a lot of errors for the Broncos. The only thing was those errors were also added to the fact that they never really had enough go forward. They lost the collisions, and when you think about it, Q, that's one thing in Brisbane are really good at. The 1-2 punches, Haas, Carrigan, and Jenkins driving the ball forward. That didn't happen tonight because the defence was so good.
4 tries to nil. A double for Jenkins on either side of half-time. McLean and Edwards scoring as well. Cleary kicking 5 goals from 6 attempts. It was 18-0 at half-time, 26-0 in the end. And Penrith could have hardly started their season better. How good one team, how average the others. Oh, look, Zane Bojack He's starting the season well. He's got the man who ended up, Zeno, with, I think it was 260 run metres or something. Here he is.
All right, so officially 260 metres. You happy with that for the first game of the season?
Yeah, sort of. There's still plenty to work on. A few drop balls and that, but overall, I think it was a resilient challenge from us. We made it good in ourselves some stages, but we're able to turn it away, which is pleasing.
Now, I understand that September 28, 2025 was plastered everywhere. You guys were so wanting to rectify what happened in that prelim final. You've got a long way to go to get back into that GF that perhaps you feel like you should have been in there last year, but it was that part of the reason why you're so resolute in defence. You didn't allow the reigning premiers to score a point tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, well, there's no future thoughts really, mate. Like I said, pleasing effort defensively, being able to not let them score a point. It's really hard to do in the NRL, and we should celebrate that. But like you said, mate, it's a long way to go. This is a long season, and plenty of work to be done between now and then.
So last year you won in round 1 in Vegas, and then you didn't win for the next 5 weeks. Why is this team different? Why are you going to be much more successful, particularly next week against the Sharks?
Yeah, well, we got a good test against the Sharks next week, but mate, I think we didn't have that scramble last year. I think a couple of boys come from everywhere to sort of save tries and scramble. We were missing that for large parts of the year, so that stuff doesn't just happen on the field. It's trained and needs to continue to be trained. Otherwise, yeah, you can get caught out.
I want to ask you about Tom Jenkins. So initially, Isaac Tungo gets named this week. Jenkins on the bench, comes out tonight, scores 2 tries. He always plays well for you guys, and Paul seemed to play well on the centres. Do you think it might be tough for Isaac to get back into this lineup?
No idea, mate. I think there's plenty of competition for outside back spots in this squad, and that's pleasing. I think Tags is a world-class centre as well, so it's a good luxury to have, and it's a good problem for Ivan to have. I'll stay well clear of that. It's way above my pay grade, but whatever the team runs out, I know they'll do the best for the jersey.
Now, Isaac didn't play game 100 tonight. There is talk that he might be traded to Parramatta so that Zach Lomax can come to Penrith. Have you got any comment on that, Dylan?
No comment, mate. I'm happy with our squad at the moment, so yeah. Honestly, mate, yeah, no comment.
All right, just finally, Nathan Cleary's had a tough week. He had his kitchen flooded. Has there been any talk amongst the boys about going around there and giving him a hand, the young bloke?
He's got plenty of cash. He can get someone else to come over and do it, but offered him to stay over at mine and look after the kids for me, but he didn't seem too keen on that.
All right, so there you go. He wasn't keen to babysit. Dylan, really appreciate chatting to you. Best of luck. Just before you go, tonight you played against Reece Walsh, who took your Kangaroos jersey. Was there a bit of a personal agenda there for you to play against the man who wore that green and gold for you?
No, mate, no, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I was just focused on my role. Obviously, there's still plenty to work on, but it's a step in the right direction.
You played outstandingly. Thanks so much for chatting to us, Dylan. Well done.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
260 run metres tonight for Dylan Edwards. Great job from Zane Bojack. He started the season on fire, getting the man that you want to hear from here on NRL Friday on ABC Sport. 26-0 for Penrith over Brisbane. What do you think? Get on the text. Give us your thoughts. 0467 920 222. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0467 920 222. Earlier this evening, the Warriors defeated the Roosters 42 points to 18. We'll get the wrap from the game across the ditch in our post-game here on NRL Friday with Quentin Hull and Billy Moore. Zane's floating around as well. We can get back down to him, and the next voice you'll hear is not only that of Zane Bojack, but the husky, gravelly tonsils of the veteran Ben Hunt.
Yes, he started at 6 tonight, went to hooker. He played game 356, which moves him ahead of Darren Lockyer. That's a great achievement, but I don't know whether you're aware of that, but that's a wonderful achievement, albeit not a great night for the Bronx.
Yeah, mate, pretty proud achievement, but yeah, obviously not the result we wanted tonight. Very disappointing, mate. To be honest, like come home, our first home game this year, up against the Panthers, and yeah, to toss that up, mate, we're just too disciplined right from the start. You know, we just kept turning the ball over at our end, and obviously you definitely can't do that against the Panthers.
It reminded me so much of the World Club Challenge because it looked like Reece got isolated at the back, particularly a couple of those high kicks. A lot of errors by you guys, and particularly on that left side defence seemed to leak a few tries.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that, mate, at the start of that game. It just seemed like we couldn't get down their end, you know. We turn the ball over at halfway, or we'd drop a kick, or just like I said, we just put too much pressure on ourselves.
So, what was the feeling like? You only had the one game in the pre-season. Did you feel like you might be a little bit underdone coming into tonight?
Nah, definitely not underdone, mate. We just, like I keep saying, we just put too much pressure on ourselves. We kept dropping the ball, mate. We're not underdone. Our conditioning's fine. You keep giving teams football on your try line, they're going to score. I know the Panthers who have won 4 comps in a row and they nearly got no one last year, So it's, we're not underdone. We're just still disciplined on.
All right, the question's going to be asked throughout the season, but the hunger's definitely there for the Broncos to go back-to-back?
Yeah, definitely, mate. There's no loss of hunger at all in this group. We just didn't come out and execute tonight. It's the same in the World Club Challenge. We've got some harsh lessons to learn. We need to go back and get better.
And just finally, you play the Parramatta Eels next week. They weren't impressive last night against the Storm. They had a real struggle. So do you feel like they're going to be really keen to come out at you again?
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that they're going to come out next week and turn it on, mate. To get a hide like that,